What's good, guys? It's your boy CS. Let's take a look at the charts because we saw a nuke yesterday evening and it actually took us to some key areas of support. Now, I just want to jump back to my favorite chart, which is the spider line chart, right? And historically, as I always say to you, they always somehow are connected. So last week we bounced off it, the week before we bounced off it, the week before that we bounced all the way to the previous spider line. And so right now, this week, we finally bounced off it. And look where the nuke ended up yesterday. Ended up there, and today we've also bounced off it. And so this is a key area of support for Bitcoin. And in terms of the ascending triangle pattern that we have, we've actually come back into it and we bounced off it as a support line. So as you can see, we posted, according to the bulls anyway, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. Now this needs to be a higher low, and we need to charge up here in order to break the next boundary of resistance and claim a higher high. Conversely, as we've also seen with the bears, they've continuously said no, this is a lower this is a lower low, this is a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And why is this so key? What does this actually mean, CS? Well, if we're posting a lower low and a lower high, it's a continuation of the same pattern, which means that the trend, if this is a lower high and we don't reclaim anything above the 70k region anyway, we're basically only posting a lower high, which is not the bullish thesis, the bullish sentiment that we ideally need. Obviously, on the lower time frame where we're at here, we're bouncing off that support. We're kind of trying to attempt to come back into this wedge pattern. But if we look at the EMA ribbons, right, we can now see we've broken through the weekly, and we need to, reclaim the weekly first and foremost. And it's a long week ahead. We've got four and a half days left. We are trying to reclaim the 200, sorry. This cluster, honestly, I can't believe it's broken through all those three. But again, as I did mention, it was a battle between the bears and the bulls with so many leverage longs and leverage shorts going on. There was going to be one clear winner. There was bound to be a winner, and whoever was the clear winner was the direction it was going to move in. And hence why we've got this massive, well, I wouldn't say it was a massive nuke. It was just like an instant nuke, an instant dump, basically flushing out. I wouldn't even call that manipulation at this point. But what I did want to compare it to was, if we look at the NIKE, yes, that closed between the 1500, not yesterday, the day before, but then yesterday we claimed it, and today is bounced off it. I was expecting, because of Bitcoin to lag, that it would do something similar, right? But actually it broke all the way through, and we're now trying to reclaim all these three levels, and we could see basically a harsh retest here where resistance could act against us. We're not even anywhere near the 4-hourly candles, but they also corroborate around that same region. As you can see, this is going to be a massive cluster. And as I've already mentioned, this could just be a temporary relief. It could be a dead cat bounce. And that's the bearish sentiment we need to look at, which is, if we do come up and we hit this cluster, we basically come down. And that is the bearish sentiment. That's what the bears are looking at. They've probably got out of their shorts now. They're basically waiting for all the bulls to leverage long up here into that region. And that would be a smart option if you were going to short the market. If we are looking at the alts, for instance, like Brett has now retested once, twice, three times, four times around this region, which was our initial DCA entry. We actually don't need to do anything here to get in, because we've already got in here. If we were going to look at an entry, it'd be all the way down here, this existing support band at the 068 or 066 level, which I gave you previously. For now, there is nothing to actually do here. If I go into the tether dominance chart, if we look at the weekly, we've now bounced off the turquoise 100 EMA, which is acting as, well, support resistance. As you know, it's inversely correlated. And then on the daily, we've actually broken through the 20 EMA and the 5.62% level. So inversely, Bitcoin has technically put in or posted a lower high, which inversely is good for Bitcoin. As we know, it's posted in the exact same on the reverse chart. So as I mentioned, the risk to reward ratio from here is very much in the favor of longs. That, look, we might get a temporary bounce, which we did on the 1 hourly. We're now getting a temporary rejection on the 1 hourly, as you can see here. So this is the first real test for Bitcoin and alts, which might even send us lower. At the end of the day, I think Bitcoin may have enough in the steam to take that out by today. I think we do want to claim around the 61K region, like I just showed you, which would be very, very difficult. If not, bears are fully in control here, but right now, bulls need to flush them out very, very quickly. Otherwise, all those bearish sentiment charts that saying we could end up here could very well come to fruition, because, as you know, 44. Look at all this here. See all this clusterfuck around here. This will act as a massive support zone for Bitcoin. And so that could be the next region if you were very, very bearish and you followed all the bearish sentiments. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Right now, as of now, Bitcoin has only posted in a higher low. And that's the way that we need to see it. Unless it starts breaking structure, we shouldn't, you know, be in such fear just right now, anyway, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, it was a flush of the leverage longs, but we'll just keep an eye on where Bitcoin is and where it's going to go. But as I mentioned, it's finding some relief, and some alts are actually pumping. As you can see, Floki, as I keep mentioning, once Floki starts pumping, like seriously pumping, other alts will normally follow. I don't know why this happens, but Floki is the leader in terms of the previous two pumps that we've had. Floki kept pumping, and then everyone else, everything else kept pumping. But that's all I've got for today, guys. I'll keep an eye on the charts and we'll revisit it, maybe even later on, and see